This here is from a site called Dining Disney. It's a little update on the Rock case, which is actually moving forward legally, which is why I'm talking about it. If this case was not actually moving forward legally, it was just allegations, then we'd have nothing to talk about because this woman doesn't really seem like she's got it all together. However, it's moving forward legally. Some judge approved it. Radical new details surface in Dwayne Johnson $3 billion kidnapping suit from May 19th, 2023. A little bit older, but not super old. Let's see what we got. Wild and radical new details have come to light in the explosive $3 billion kidnapping suit filed against former wrestler and actor Dwayne Johnson, and also filed against a lot of other people and companies and even the government. We'll get into that. They say when the news first came out, fans were confused, didn't know what to think. Obviously, that's the case. They're claiming even more details came out now. Their next headline, an almost laughable complaint. They say the long short story is that former wrestler Trinisha Biggers, aka Raka Khan, is suing Dwayne Johnson for his alleged part in a massive conspiracy to kidnap Biggers and her two children. Now you gotta think, if this was such a massive conspiracy to kidnap her and her two children, what do they gain from that? You know, if you do something like a serious crime, let's just say the age-old rob a bank, you risk going to jail for a long time, ruining your life, but the reward would be substantial if you get away with it. So if they got away with this, Dwayne Johnson, a super popular, mega rich star, got away with this, what does he gain from it? It's just some silly thing he does on the side as a hobby? There's like no motive here at all. They say fans of The Rock think it's outlandish, outright ridiculous, which it seems to be. They say the complaint is nearly 50 pages, but the contents of those pages make Biggers vs. Johnson and others seem like a far-fetched joke in an elaborate attempt to extort money from wealthy celebrities, companies, and government entities. Maybe something happened. They forgot to send her a limo or something, and someone took them to the wrong place. Maybe something happened that you could stretch out 100 miles and say it was some kind of an attempt to move her and her kids somewhere and a kidnapping. I mean, there's got to be something that happened that she's going to try to go on, but it probably has nothing to do with what she's claiming. Although we don't know details yet, I gotta say, if you remember in the Johnny Depp UK case, the judge had this 100-page report of proof against Johnny. Well, you could write any amount of pages about anything. Doesn't mean it's true. We've got 50 right here about this pretty silly complaint, pretty silly allegation. Just had to throw that out there. They also say Biggers was a wanted fugitive in the city of El Paso, Texas. There was a warrant out for her arrest. Well, starting to sound like these women who accuse people have some things in common, and that is, they don't all follow the law. According to the complaint, Biggers and her children were hiding from Sims in a women's shelter, and when Sims was unable to locate Biggers and their two daughters, Biggers claimed he made multiple false reports about the trio being missing, alleging that Biggers had kidnapped the children, thus landing her on El Paso's most wanted fugitives list, a never-ending list of defendants. So here's the thing. She's not only accusing The Rock of these things, although he's the one in the headlines, she's accusing a laundry list of companies, government, and other people. Here it is. I put my WTF here because look at these people on the list and companies. Publix, which is a supermarket, Cash App, Facebook, Instagram, Starbucks, Hooters, Victoria's Secret, U-Haul, Petco, Kinko's, Best Buy, Nike, the NFL, the U.S. Air Force, TMZ, well, maybe on that one there, Hard Rock Cafe, New York Post, Universal Studios. How is this even legal? You could actually sue all these companies and corporations. I mean, don't you have to prove in some way they were involved? And what kind of judge put this through. And there are many, many more defendants listed. Such a complaint begs many questions. Who allowed this suit to move forward? Yes, exactly. And they go on to ask a few good questions, actually. I'm not too familiar with this publication, but it seems like this one they're getting right. They beg the question, does Biggers actually believe this stuff herself? If so, how does she have all the information to believe it? To think Hooters, U-Haul, Home Depot, and the NFL were involved? How does she even know that? Then they ask, is she insane? Which is a fair question. While it's unclear exactly what role the defendants played in Biggers' claims of alleged wrongdoing, one thing is undeniable, that in March of this year, a judge gave Biggers the green light to proceed with her case. At this time, no court date has been set, and there's no indication that any of the defendants have yet been served. Maybe, somehow, I don't know the legalities, but there's some profit to be made here by accusing these corporations who might have to pay a fee or something to get out of court or something. Just something I'm thinking. Only way I can make sense of this is there's going to be some money made no matter what happens if it goes through. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that. Shout out to Susan. Thank you so much. Shout out to Tiny Magic Phil, who follows me on Twitter. Thank you, Phil. And shout out to Nibs. Thank you, Nibs. All right, I did some shout outs. Finally. So that's really it. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't consider it and don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.